In this video, I'm going to connect to the Monoprice Mini Delta 3D printer over its built-in Wi-Fi and create a virtual COM port using Malyan Connect. This only works with stock firmware. I will be doing this in Windows, however there are Malyan download links for Mac and Android, so maybe you can try that out and let us know how it works in the comments. By doing this, I can connect to the printer to send Gcode commands, receive responses, and calibrate my printer. This method is not reliable for printing. I treat this as more of a last-ditch effort to be able to calibrate your machine if you cannot get the printer to connect over USB. Personally, I am a big fan of Octopi, but I understand that a lot of beginners buy this printer and they may not be willing to invest the time and or money into setting up an Octopi, even though it's super awesome and not even that expensive. All of these files can be found on the wiki, but I still kind of stumbled upon this specific application of Malyan Connect by accident. Starting off, I'm going to assume you have already tried Pronterface over USB. If not, stop what you're doing right now and click the video link in the description for trying that. First off, you want to unplug the USB cable from your printer, otherwise this will not work. Next, we're going to create a Gcode file for setting up the Wi-Fi and then print it. So right now, you can see I'm on the Monoprice Mini Delta wiki maintained by Matthew Up, and I'm on the connecting to Wi-Fi page. I'll put a link to this in the description, and I'm going to click the link that says Gcode file. And basically, we're going to follow these instructions verbatim. You can read them for yourself on the wiki. I'm just going to point out the limitations that this method will work with SSID and passwords that contain multiple spaces, spaces at the end, special characters, and lowercase characters in any location. However, this method will not work if the Wi-Fi password contains a semicolon. This method will not work for configuring open system Wi-Fi networks with no password. So now you see he has this Wi-Fi _setup.gcode, and it looks like all that it's going to do is it's going to turn off the fan if it was already on. It's going to turn on the fan just to let you know that it started, and then it's going to home, and then it's sending the commands to set up the Wi-Fi, and then it's going to home again, then turn off the fan and disable the motors to show you that it's finished. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to click this link to download snippet. Alright, let's make sure we save this. Just save it as Wi-Fi setup.gcode. I'm going to open this folder, and I'm going to right click this and right click the Wi-Fi _setup Gcode, click open with, more apps, notepad. And I'm going to uncheck this just in case I have to demonstrate this to someone else later, because this is on a user account that I created just for creating tutorials. And now you can see I'm looking at that same code. Control plus, that's what I can do to zoom in. That was shown on the wiki. So let's move this over here, and right here you just want to type in the name of your network. So whatever it says up here is what you want to use, but actually I'm going to connect to Octopi Wi-Fi. I also set up a Wi-Fi hotspot on my Raspberry Pi, so that's what I'll do for this one. So I would type in Octopi _Wi-Fi because that's the name of my network. Then my password, I'm going to enter my password, super secure and safe password 123 special characters. And then I'm just going to save this file and exit out. And if you notice, I already have this other thing down here called Wi-Fi.gcode or Octopi Wi-Fi.gcode, and that's because I did not just type in my real network password. And so this one contains my actual network password. And now I'm going to copy this over onto the SD card, which I've already loaded onto the computer. So if you're on my computer, you can find your SD card. You can see it already has the auto GCAD in there, and I'm just going to right click and paste Octopi Wi-Fi Gcode in there, and now I need to eject my SD card from the taskbar. Safe to remove hardware. Remove that. Now let's stick this guy into the printer. Make sure I'm using it in the correct direction. I have a little SD card extender. And now you probably can't see the menu, but I'm going to navigate to the print menu on my printer, and I'm going to go to octopi-wifi.gcode, select it, and it's homing. The fan's moving. The fan stopped moving. So maybe it's finished. It's not telling me it's finished on the printer, but maybe I can trust that it's finished. So since I don't know, I'm just waiting a few seconds. The fan stopped, so I'm going to press my power button to turn it off. Now I'm going to turn it back on again and see if it connected. And you can't see the screen with my camera, but if you could, right here in the top left corner, you can see a little Wi-Fi icon with my IP address that's being assigned to this printer. And so that's how I know that it's successfully connected. So let me bring up my script. What's next on the list? Now I need to download and install Malyan Link. So let's go back to the wiki page. I'm going to go back to the page I started on, connecting to Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to click on Windows-Malyan Link. And I'm going to download Malyan Link from this folder, and he tells you exactly which folder to find it in, but I'm going to click there myself. It's opening up a Google Drive. Depending on what web browser you use, you might have to click stuff slightly differently to get it all to download. So I'm going to click Software, Android, iOS, and Windows apps. And now I'm going to click on the Windows PC app. There's also a Android app folder, and then Android app link, iOS app. I don't know if any of these things work. I don't have a Mac, so I'm going to click on the Windows link. And see, this was May 30th. So this is the latest version here on the far right. And in Microsoft Edge, which I usually don't use, but if you're watching this, you're probably a newbie and you need help, so I'm going to assume you're using Edge. So I'm going to click this link to download it. Scanning for viruses. It's giving me an option to save as, but I guess I didn't download this ahead of time, so I'll just go ahead and download it. Finished downloading. So this is a zip file, so I need to right click. Most of you probably don't have 7-zip, so maybe if I drag this with my right click button. Yeah, so if you right click this, hold down on it, drag it somewhere free, right click and then click extract, you can follow this and click the buttons to extract the setup link. Now I'm just going to double click on this. Yes, I want to allow this app to make changes. Just follow the setup guide. Next. Install. Well, that was pretty quick. Oh, well, one thing I forgot before I click run on this. I need to make sure I'm hooked up to the same Wi-Fi as my printer. Now, most of you probably only have one Wi-Fi in your house, but I don't, and since I set up the Wi-Fi to work on Octopi Wi-Fi, I need to make sure I connect to that same network. And why is it taking so long? Okay, it's connected. Run. So you see this? Now I have a status connected on my taskbar. Maybe It's my OBS Studio blocking that. I think it is. But let's move this up to the top corner. Have a little status message. It says that it's connected. And so if I right click on this little M icon, it says uninstall COM driver, map remote COM port, Wi-Fi wizard, scan printer, upload file. So I'm guessing it's already got a COM driver set up because it says uninstall and is assuming it's already there. But if not, maybe you can right click this and click map remote COM port, and that could get you where you want it to be. Okay, so let's do this, and now I'm going to open up Pronterface. And what am I going to connect to? I don't know. Let's just try COM 100, see if that's it. It says printer is now online. Is COM 100 what they set me up for? Yes, it is. So you see, I send G28 and it is homing. I send G29 P2 V4. It's going to run a quick auto level sequence, and it's also going to return values. And this is helpful because if you're trying to calibrate your extruder, you're going to need to be able to send specific G-code commands and get answers from the terminal.